report of a missing person. 5800 block of Airline Highway. We had a Hispanic male that was supposedly meeting up with some individuals in order to sell a vehicle. He had told his significant other that he was meeting up with that person and then ended up not coming home and not responding later on that afternoon. Our office was dispatched on missing persons. We started investigating that last night. We were able to obtain some video evidence last night that made us to believe that there was possibly some foul play involved. Started doing some tracking as of last night, continuing that this morning, and was able to find the victim's vehicle at a apartment complex located in Baton Rouge today. We had met there with another agency, with the Louisiana Attorney General's office, trying to look, for that vehicle in reference to continuing our 22 missing, our missing persons report. During that period of time, we had a person that was not the victim come out to that vehicle in order to unlock it and to get into that vehicle. We elected to try to make a stop at that time, in which that person was pursued into a wooded area off the apartment complexes in Baton Rouge. During that apprehension, one of our detectives fired a couple shots in the direction of that suspect. The suspect was not hit, continued to flee, and was later apprehended shortly thereafter within that same area. That person has now since cooperated, and we've also been able to identify another suspect in the apartment complex that was there. We've been utilizing Baton Rouge PD in order to obtain search warrants at that location. We've been able to not only find the vehicle, we were able to find the vehicle that they traveled into to meet up with the victim yesterday at that location, along with other pieces of evidence that linked them back to that missing persons report. About the same time that the apprehension was being made in Baton Rouge, our office here in Metairie was called to a intersection of Linden and Lark Street, which is probably within a half a mile of the original location at the 5800 block of Airline. A person entered into an empty lot at that location at Linden and Lark, which contains a bunch of banana trees that are on it, pretty kind of secluded wooden area. When that person went back into that lot, was able to find the decedent, who we have tentatively identified as the victim from yesterday's 22 missing. I believe that he was shot probably here in Metairie and dumped at that location yesterday afternoon. So a missing report that has now been into a murder report. As I said from earlier, we have 2 people in custody in Baton Rouge. We are working with Baton Rouge PD on obtaining that evidence. Both of the vehicles will be transported back to our crime lab for processing. The next of kin has been notified as of just a little while ago with the coroner's office, but I'll let the coroner's office actually do the identification of the victim. That y'all take any questions.
The victim was from 5800 Airline, or he was meeting people in 5800?
Both, Michelle. I think it's a 5800 block of Airline. There's a trailer park at that location, and he resided in one of the trailers at that location.
Okay, and then so he disappeared when I guess he went outside.
Went outside. I think they took a test ride, and obviously something bad happened during that test ride.
He was selling his vehicle?
I believe that's what he was trying to do, sell his vehicle.
You all said what type of vehicle it was that he was in?
I have not said that yet, and let us go through. I mean, this is a bunch happening with a bunch of different jurisdictions today, so I want to give my investigators a little time to catch up, make sure if they have anybody else involved. I'd rather not say that right now.
You also mentioned video evidence. So is that video at the trailer park, or maybe they saw ATL
Michelle, I know they caught the suspects in video and the victim on video yesterday afternoon, which led them to believe that there was possibly some foul play involved. I do not know where the video footage was captured, or what house it came from, or business it came from. I have not seen it, but I know that we did have it on video.
And then what time was he reported missing?
I think he was reported missing late afternoon, 6 o'clock. I think somewhere around 3 or 4 he actually met, and I want to say that it was somewhere around 6 that that he was actually, the police were called. Yes.
So this deputy that started firing or fired a shot, do you have any details?
I don't. I was heading up to Baton Rouge when the body was found here locally in Metairie. So I turned around and came back to our processing the scene here on the homicide. So I have not talked to our detective. Baton Rouge PD will obviously investigate, since the use of force happened in Baton Rouge. I'm going to let them give their statements and talk to them at that point in time. And I know they're collecting evidence on the scene there. I just don't know what they have to be able to give you any information on that yet.
We're not sure whether the suspect was on.
I know they've recovered, but I don't know who's got what or where at this point in time. I'll let Baton Rouge figure that out as they're going forward with their investigation.
People aren't saying whether, the suspect fired on him.
I don't believe that's the case. I don't think the suspect fired on him. But that's my information. As I said, I didn't make it up to that scene, but I do believe that's accurate.
Do you feel like that wooded area where that occurred? Do you guys have, that's a different area from the apartment complex?
It was next door. Yeah, it ran from the apartment complex into the wooded area.
So it wasn't a car
There
chase,
wasn't. It was not a vehicle chase. It was a foot chase.
And 2 people in custody?
There are 2 people that I know of in custody right now.
Men, women?
I believe 2 men, but I'll have to. I'm gonna defer to Baton Rouge right now to make sure that that's accurate. But the same information I have is two men that are in custody right now.
Are you waiting for any other suspects?
That's, as I said earlier, I want our investigators to have a little time to catch up. This all happened pretty quickly today. Let's let them dwell down into who was in what vehicle, where they're from, and what other video evidence that we have, and let them get the interviews in front of them to say that we're looking for somebody else or not, because I'm not 100% sure at this point in time.
Do we know how these 2 got together? I know you said that they were, or 3 got together, they were trying to.
I'm sure we will find that out. I don't know if it was an online sale or something, from the victim's spouse or significant other. I know that he was meeting with somebody about selling the car, but I don't know if that was an online sale or just phone call sale or what type of advertisement. But I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure we'll be able to figure that out.
And you didn't say, but I suspect that you will believe that the people that you have in custody killed this guy.
Yes, I do believe that. So.
And you said gunshot.
Autopsy has not been done yet, but preliminary is a gunshot wound.
And to be clear, you don't believe that the victim was shot where his body was discovered?
I think from the place that he was picked up from the vehicle, we're talking about a very short distance from where he was located today. So I do believe he was shot here in the Metairie area, and from the evidence that we were located today, I believe, within a close proximity of, him being picked up when he was shot and actually done.
But we don't know if there's another scene where he was shot?
No, I don't have any other scene at this point in time.
Have your investigators talked to these suspects, and if so,
That's continuing as we speak.
have they offered any kind of
I'm gonna let Baton Rouge and our guys get together and try to figure that out as we speak. That's going on as we're here. So, all right, y'all have a good night. Appreciate it. Thank you.